Hey there, I'm recording this video to show you how to create a pollination model from a 2D drawing. In this case, a DWG plan. I downloaded it from internet. It's looks like two apartments next to each other, and it looks like it is mirrored. So I can just draw one and then mirror it on the other side. We already have a video that shows how to do that with the older commands, but I want to show you some of the commands that we have developed during the last few months. So as of December 1st, 2022, this is how I would approach this problem. One thing is I put all the layers under the 2D plan here. I made them sub-layers so I can manage them better. Then I make a new layer, call it grids, and make another layer, call it rooms, where I draw the rooms. So the approach is going to be generate a few guidelines here to help me draw them. I can, of course, Rhino does a great job of just, like helping you snap while you're drawing. The reason I'm doing it this way is to show off a new command that we have that kind of auto-generates this grid. We developed it mostly for fixing models, but it's useful for 2D drawings too. And then I'll just draw the rooms and then add the apertures and show you how to mirror stuff, and then like we will have a model. So let's go ahead and get it started. The first thing is to generate those guidelines that only want to get the main lines. So I'm going to turn off every other layer. And then I'm going to run a command called po-gen align grid. If you don't see it, this is a new command if you have Rhino installed, so just upgrade. Select the lines, press enter, and what it does, it basically, based on the lines that are available in the model, it tries to guess what are the places that you need a guideline. Right? I can help it. For example, I want the lines to be start degree to start in the middle of this wall, so I can reset the direction and use this and draw the first line for it. It didn't change things much. Let's see, because probably I had a grid already there. The other controls that I have is the grid size, so I can put it, this is in metric, so 0.1, and then give it a little bit more of merge distance and do it again. So now you see it tried to find this. You might be guessing like why it doesn't show this ones, because it only keeps the ones that has the most number of intersections. You can change this, so I can put it on 30%, and now you can see those lines show up. You can actually see all the lines that are used as guidelines and then the ones that are kept. So this is pretty good as a starting point. Again, it's not perfect, but let's just copy paste the rest. That's pretty quick. So I bake this. So now these lines are baked, and I went to grids already, grids layer. I was in the grids layer to make sure they get baked in grids layer. So I change the color here by clicking on this square, double clicking. Now I do the same for the horizontal ones. So let's take this mid as the one that I want. Now you can see it actually found a good amount of them. Let's keep 60% and bake this and then close. So here are my lines. So the first thing is, because this is a mirror plan, I just remove everything on the other side. I'll just draw them here, and I can use mirror. So I use trim to trim these lines too. Okay, then there is a decision to be made here if you want to get the center of the line or we want to go all the way to the end for now, or some, like, depending, like some people actually pick the inside because they want the area to match the floor area without considering the walls. So for now, I'll take the middle, and maybe closer to the end of the video, I'll show you how to how to change that without redrawing your model. I'm going to move this one, remove that one, delete this one, move this one here. And nothing magical, but the fact that I already have those lines already saved me some time for trying to draw them. And this is a command that we're just going to make it better and better, mainly for fixing models, but it's useful for cases like this one. So I move this here, delete my guideline. This one has no use. Let's delete it. This one can be useful. Let's keep it. And this one is also, I'm going to move it in the middle of the two. And you can see with Rhino, I'm using this smart track to just, I stop here, stop there, and then it gives me the mid. So I put it there. So, okay, I have the guidelines set pretty well. I'm going to lock this layer and go to rooms and then lock this layer, lock the other layer too. Maybe beforehand I just turn on everything for a second. So I'll just select all the layers and turn them on to see. So we have a kitchen here. There are bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. Okay, there is one living room here, and there's some area here in the middle. There's a balcony here on this side. There's a balcony here on the other side. So let's turn off all this, and this is actually useful for this balcony, but it has a lot of things. So I turn that one off too, and then like I'll turn it on later when we want to add the balconies. Let's go back to rooms layer and then lock this. So the command that we used so far was po gen po underline gen align grids. Then the next command is, with the video that we have recorded before was po add room. So you have to create boxes basically and then change them to room. But we have a new command called po draw room. And what it does, it basically helps you work in 2D and it draws the room for you in 3D. You can set the elevation and you can set the height. So the elevation is important because that means like you can put, if you have several plans, you can put them on top of each other and just draw in 0, 0 basically in the main plane, and then it adjusts it in the level that you want. Just to show the case, let's say this plan was in the 2nd floor, so I put the elevation to be 3.2 meters. And of course you can change the units to be anything that you want. This one is in meters. And then the height also let's be generous and make it 3.6 meters here. And from there I have different choices of like how to draw it. The first thing is based on rectangle. Most of this actually are rectangles, so it should be good enough for me, but like I'll change it to show other stuff too. So all I need to do, I'll just select the intersection here, select it here, right? And I put the 3D here so you can see it too. So what happened, because the elevation was set to 3.2, it's drawing it in 3.2. Even I'm drawing in the plan, right? In a plan view. And I can even turn on planar here to make sure everything just happens on the plane. So that's something to see. You see the room has been already added. If I knew what this thing is, I could have just double clicked here and now I think it's bedroom. So I can call this bedroom 1, right? And then okay, so now this is a bedroom. And then I can continue doing the same for the rest of the room. So basically your command is po draw room that you can click, and then you can quickly select this. And because the elevation is fixed, it basically does the job for you and draws it in the right elevation, so you don't have to worry about that. I have seen people get confused. One other thing I'm going to do is like I'm going to make a mistake here. Instead of doing this, I do this, because in a lot of plans when you draw them, oh actually this is This is a multi-line thing, so I can call freeform, and then this allows me to basically draw as I want. So how do I want to do this? So this, let me actually for a second. So I'm going to change the visualization to be a little bit more transparent so I can see the lines while I'm drawing. So the way I did it, I clicked on this here, render settings, and I could change it. I'm going to add a little bit more information here to see where are the doors and windows. Yeah, this, whoever drew this Kaplan, thank you, but they didn't do a great job on managing the layers. It's not for me to complain. Okay, so there's a room here. This is the hallway. We can probably model this, all of this the same, and then keep this one separate because it looks like there's a partition or something that's separating them. So I'm going to do PO, draw room. I'm going to select freeform here to be able to freely move around. So there is an opening here too. So I press Ctrl Z and I press Ctrl Z to cancel. So I'm going to just merge these two with this space. Go here, go here, go and make a mistake here. Okay, so I just made a mistake. And I know you're thinking, I never make a mistake. Yeah, we all do. So I click this here and I do this here. So this one is added to, let's call it hallway maybe. Okay, and this one I call it bedroom 3, and this one I'm going to call it bedroom 2. For the rest, I think I'm going to set myself a mute, or actually I can fast forward it when I edit the video. But like I'm going to continue the same thing. Press PO. Actually, I thought like that was my last command. I pressed the space, but I have to write it again. PO draw room. Oh, and for people who don't like typing, actually this is the time. You can actually click on this add room and then draw a room. This is the same as what I was typing there. Now I can draw a room here. Another one here. One here. Oh, I'm missing a guideline here. So I'm going to do this. I get the okay. Rhino, help me. 1, 1, meet. 1, 1. Okay. It doesn't want to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my time and try to do it right. So I'm going to draw a line here. I have to go to a different layer, but I'll fix that later. So I copy this guy, or this is locked. So I'm going to unlock the grids here and then copy this line from here to here. And I'm going to delete this guideline that I drew. So, okay. And I can see that I will have similar problem there. So I'm going to copy this line from here to here. So that gives me that. Maybe a good time to save. So I save this model and then I go back here and actually let me lock this one, go back here and draw a room. So you remember I made a mistake here. This is still there. Let's say I didn't see that. Continue working. And let's do this. Oh, actually, I could have used rectangle and I didn't need this, but hey, you know, you learned a new command. And there's a staircase here, so I can basically do this for now. Actually, I do mirror, and then like I'll show you some other commands. So here we go. Actually, the plan is here ready. If I want to be clean, I'm going to rename this guy as stairs. Okay, living room. So if you're like me and you don't like clicking one-on-one on this one, come back here. The other option that you have is PO edit room properties, so you can type it. And now I don't know what is this room. Kitchen is a storage. Storage. Which ones are missing? This PO edit room properties, and this one is shower. And bathroom. What about this guy here? Is bedroom 4. One of them should be a master bedroom, is it? Nope, it's not. They only have this shared one. Okay, so now that I have this, the next step is to add the aperture. So what I can do here, there is a similar command called PO add apertures. So before you had to draw it, it says like what is the, select the room or face that you want to add the aperture. So I select it. Oh, sorry, PO draw aperture. I'm like, what am I doing? PO draw apertures. So again, select this. So before you had to go and draw them in elevation, but then from the feedback, people wanted to just draw in plan. So we added this option for mode floor plan. So now you can draw them in floor plan, and you can set different things. So for elevation, floor elevation, if you remember, I set it to 3.2, so I have to match it. Sill height, 0.9 is good. And for this, I can go 1.4 because like we give them 3.6 in the total height. So now I can basically draw on plan and watch this, like watch the 3D here. And this magically adds all of them. So this only has one, so I just do this. And here, this is added here. Oh, I could have just gone from 1.4, I could have done like 2 point something probably. Like let me test it with the next one here. Mode floor plan, select room, mode floor plan, and then for height I can go 2.1, and then let's try the aperture, and that's the aperture, so that looks better. So now maybe it's a good time for me to show you how to edit the stuff in 3D too. So let's say, oh, I want to change this window. Of course, one way is to delete it and redraw it. The other way is to make it, move it from room selection mode, and now that means I can select this window and then use the command move edge to move this edge at the intersection from here to here. So here you go. So my window is fixed. I'll just go back here. So these are now the same height. And then I can go ahead and do the same everywhere for all the other rooms. So the command is again PO draw aperture. You can do similarly, you can click here and then do draw apertures. And one thing is like I can be a little bit wrong. So I do the same command, so I select these 3 rooms at the same time. And then, you know, like I can go here, but this is still a snippet to the face. So that's a good thing because I don't need to be very, like, I can draw here, you see, and then it basically knows where the face is, and it just snaps it there. I forgot this one. So that makes things much faster. You don't have to zoom in a lot. You just pick the basically we just guess what's your intention, and then based on that, good to go. So yeah, looks like I added all the pretty windows. So one thing is my staircase is still, I know, is not where it should be because it's only half. So what I can do now, I can mirror and merge, or I can do move face in this case. So move face is a Rhino command that we support also in Pollination. You select it, and then I move the face from here to here basically. And here you go, now my stair is basically all the way there. Then I still ignore this. I think I didn't, let's assume I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. I'm like, oh, okay, I have this. Now I'm done, right? I can just mirror using the mirror command. I go and mirror it from here. Hold down shift. And that's the thing. The only thing I don't like about this mirror thing is like it just changes all the name of the rooms. It ruins them. So maybe we find a better way to match the room names or use them and say mirrored or something. That's not great. I duplicated this. I made a mistake. I just select and delete it. Other than that, it's just good, right? I'm not going to rename this right now. So I am almost done. I'm going to check a few things here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve adjacencies to make sure like all the lines are aligned and are good. I can turn off this grid for a second, and then I can do, and I'm going to turn off this 2D plans too. And I'm going to do PO solve adjacency, do intersect, do match. And when I do that, I'm going to change the preview from color by type, face type, to color by boundary condition. And I'm going to turn off the outdoor ones by clicking on this one here. No, not that one, this one, render settings, and then refresh. And now I see, oh, there is a problem here. These two didn't match. Everything else looks fine, or does it? This one also didn't match. So, oh, I actually made a mistake here too. It always happens, and it's fine. So what you're going to do, you're going to use the other command that we have to help you with this, because a lot of time you might also get a 3D model, and then there are issues. So one way to figure it out is what I did right now. Just do a quick solve adjacency. The other one is PO check geometry adjacency. So select everything. And then this command basically shows you the points which are very close but are not exactly the same. And you can change the threshold. So you can see as soon as I go to 10 centimeters, it just finds this endpoints that are very close but are not the same. So how do you fix this? You can go ahead, and I'm going to show you different ways of fixing them actually too. So one way is to go ahead and say, oh, I see what's going on here. And maybe if I turn on the grid, it's easier to mention. So I see what's going on here. This one is not right. This should be moved. So what I can do, I can select the move edge command and say, hey, move this edge from here to here. Oh, and I made a huge mistake doing this. I tried to do it in 2D, so move edge, and then here I move it from here to here, and you see that's solved. And just to make sure it's solved, usually like what I do, I rerun the PO solve adjacency, and we will see that this is now fixed. But this can be really cumbersome, especially if you have like so many of these cases. So in that case, what you want to do, you really want to use this command called PO align to grid. So what this command does, it basically give it a grid and it aligns the geometry to that grid. For this case, I have this line. Let me unlock that. So I have this line and I have this grid line, right? These are the two. So for this, I want to be aligned to this. For this guy, I want to be aligned to this. And to do that, I'm going to move them a little bit, at least visually you can see it covers everything. And then I'm going to hide everything else just to make it easier for you to see how it works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run the command called PO align to grid. It says select geometry. So the geometries that are involved are these geometries. So I'm going to select them. And then it says there are different ways of doing it. The first thing is like I'm going to select the grids. So it says select the grid line. So I select these ones. These are the grids. You can see here it shows me that it puts two plane there. Yes, that's where I want things to be aligned. And then there are two inputs here. One is threshold and the other one is angle to tolerance. So threshold basically says what is the distance between this line and another edge that you want to be aligned to it. So when I say 1, it means like anything that has a distance of 1 or less, align it. So 1 might be a large number because it's 1 meter. In this case, it's fine, but I'm going to make it 0.5 just to be safe. The other thing is angle tolerance. It says what is the angle tolerance that's accepted for making the change, because if I don't have this number, then this will always be aligned. But there are some cases that you have a line which is 45 degrees or something and you don't want to be aligned. You want only the case that alignment work for this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave angle tolerance to be 0, or you can do minus 1 to disable, but 0, it means like only align the ones that are in the same angle with my lines. And I run this command and you will see this will get fixed, but this one will not get fixed. So run, done. You see this one was fixed. Let's zoom in. Oh, this one wasn't fixed. Let me see. 0.1. So let's see what's going on. It might be because they are down here and it does the, it shouldn't be like that. Let me try again. Align to grid. Let me remove this angle tolerance to see grids. Yes, this time it actually fixed everything. So there is something going on with that angle thing that I have to fix, or we have to fix. But other than that, you see like this worked without that. After setting that angle tolerance to -1, that's a new thing that we have set. So yep, there is a bug there that we'll fix. But you see the concept here. So this is now done, and now I can go and lock this again and then do a solve adjacency once more, and then everything should work. Let's see, here we go. Clean, all the solve adjacencies are worked. We just drew this in less than 30 minutes and with me like talking about everything. But now you know what happens. You do this, you're very happy, you think it's done, and someone comes and says, oh, we just heard they told us that for this model we actually have for all the external walls, what we need to do is to make them align to the interior of the wall, not the middle of the wall, because of the area thing. So in normal software, in other software, you have to go and redraw everything. But here's the good news. You don't have to do it in Pollination. All you need to do to use the same command that we use for fixing, this time for aligning this wall. So I'm going to draw this extra line here. So this is aligned here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say PO align, underline align to grid. Select the geometries here, and then select the grid, which is this guy here, and yes, accept it, and threshold 0.5. Bingo, done. So the whole room is here, and you might be thinking, wait, what happened to windows? The windows are also there. Don't worry, we handle all that. We project them, we fix them. So everything moves with your model. Let me go back here and show the outdoor and set this to 0. Close. So this is your model. Everything is prepared. We know the salvage SSD works, so the interior and exterior are set. And then if you want to make sure, you can also validate your model using PO validate command. So congratulations, your model is valid. Thank you for watching this video, and let us know if you have any questions. The best place to post your questions is Pollination Discourse, discourse.pollination.cloud. We'll see you on Discourse. Take care.